Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
source tree is good too. Another point on that is just to say we have batch files as well, so it's not only like Unix shell scripts.
Right. Yeah.
So if
You
you're a
need
Windows guy, you're still
Windows.
set.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And those are all built into the templates, so it's but the process was really painless, and now I feel, and I think this is good for everybody. I think this is good for Corona. I think they can sort of wash their hands of it at this point and say it's on you. Here you go. And I feel like I have control of it at this point, so I can push updates as I need to, and they're live within an hour usually. And it's been great.
So I have a
I've had
question
zero
about
time.
documentation. Oh, Alex, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Chris. I had zero time to listen to yesterday's Corona Geek. Did you guys talk about why this is better than the repository, than just the code repository? Do you know what I'm talking about, Michael? You know the thing where you can actually just share, your actual GitHub library or, what
Yeah.
have you.
So if I create like a perspective library, which is a really important one, or a really popular one, I should say, and say I update it, right? And there's like 100 people using that plugin. What are they all going to do? They're all going to go back to your gist or whatever and re-download your code and everything. Well, the simulator can handle the update for you if you use the plugin system.
Perfect.
Plus, you
Right.
get better advertisement because we're kind of like pushing people to look at the store. Like I don't know if you noticed, there's a Facebook version 4 plugin that was just released in beta, and we have people go to the store to activate it because we want like more people looking there. So when we do monetize it, like users have like some reasonable expectation of their plugin being seen.
So are you saying it helps to centralize things? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, it sounds like
Yeah, that too.
exposure too, as well.
And it sounds like, right, it pulls it in. Like you said, you don't have to you have to star somebody's GitHub or whatever to see if any changes came through and all that good stuff.
Well,
So
the
that sounds
plugins
good.
are encrypted as well, correct?
Yes.
So you have that other level of security if you need it.
Oh, okay. They're converted to bytecode, so it's not like super security.
Right, but it's not a gist.
Yeah.
I had a question about docs. I noticed there is a template, kind of an outline there. I was curious why, or the possibility of using something like LDoc. Like I document my Lua classes using that, and then it spits out, obviously your documentation. Is it very specific that the documentation has to be how it is on?
Nope. You can do whatever you want with docs. Jason has it on his website.
Yeah. I chose not to, although I tried to keep it somewhat consistent with how Corona Labs documents their APIs, just because I'm used to that and I sort of think it's nice. But yeah.
Cool.
I
Excellent.
mean, we do a pass of like making sure that you have documentation and it's reasonably accurate and everything, but as long as you have it, it doesn't matter what format it is in or where it's hosted.
Now, Michael, you were saying that added advertisement is going to be a benefit of putting your plugins through the plugin store, for lack of a better term, right? So that means that you're going to get a crawl, you're going to get some banner ads, you're going to get some interstitials with Fuse powered. That's all going to be gratis. That sounds fantastic. That's super exciting. So. I'm excited about that. That sounds good.
Alex is all about the nickels.
I'm trying to make $100, not 100 pennies. All right. I'm thinking global here.
Jason, I just wanted to tell you this. In terms of tracking your app, I sent that demo app to you. I don't know if you can see this on the screen. I put some really simple trackers in there as well. So I could see the games, the unique players, and all that kind of stuff. But then I was playing more with it. And let me see if I can pull this up here. I got it to work with the Google Analytics as well.
Now, somebody out there, I think, has a module for that, right? An analytics Lua implementation.
That's John Johnson, who's a genius. His stuff is amazing.
Or did you roll your own, Kevin?
Yeah, this is my own, but it's super simple. It's literally 5 steps, and you're off to go. But what you have to create links on your own server and then plan them into your Lua code. But it's literally one line of code, and you get all these trackers.
Oh, hey, look, a Nexus 7. That might be me.
It is possibly you.
I'm going to know how many people pirate my game if I do this.
Yeah, I suppose you can.
Oh, I don't want to know that.
You don't want to know. You see all those IPs popping up in Russia, Eric. You don't want to know.
I know. It's like I sell really good in around as it is on APKs, but I mean, like the first day my game came out, it was like pirated.
Eric, you have a conspiracy theory on that, right?
I'm much happier not knowing. Yeah, I got all kinds of conspiracy theories, but I'm much happier not knowing. But yeah, I need to get on some analytics. I wonder how many people won my game. So you put that right into your game? Does it slow it down any, or is it like does it just not do it?
Well, you can ask Eric, but no, it just pings out to my server on one specific link on the page is really, 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 really tiny, and it just loads it in.
You know, I did kind of a homebrew version of that because I call up like in the help, I just pop up a website, and it's my website, and I'm using my Google Analytics to find out how many times a day it gets called up.
Yeah.
And it's the instruction manual in my game. So if they click on I can find out how many times a day people are looking at my instruction manual. So it's kind of like that. That's really cool.
Well, right over in the sidebar, I put up John's Bitbucket for his Google Analytics module.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
which is a perfect example of what Michael was talking about before. Is that this? I've never heard of this Google Analytics module.
If you're not
before.
reading from the forum and you don't get a cookie.
Yeah. Well, see, there you go. But that's a classic marketing problem,
But Kevin, I would say if you've got an implementation of that works nicely, that's a great addition to the plugin store. And it's something that, at this point, you've done the heavy lifting on. I mean,
you don't need a plugin. It's literally one line of code anyway.
Yeah, I think John's thing is just, he's got I think it's an HTML file or some such, whatever. You just stick it in.
Yeah, I suppose so. Now, what I'm doing, I've got a click tracker page, PHP page, and you give that different values, so you can actually track clicks in your game, so how many games are played, how many games are lost and won, who shared stuff on Facebook. And on that same page, I included a bit of code that's Google Analytics. It's super simple. It's quite dumb, but it works.
I mean, I've done some of that in the past using like Flurry events, and I'm curious to hear if anybody here on the panel has used Flurry, has strong opinions for or against Flurry. I've used it and it works, and it doesn't seem to bog the app down, so I'm not opposed to it. Although it's funny, I've done some consulting for kids apps, and I always, anytime I'm getting involved with a platform like that, and Flurry goes way deeper than I've ever used it, and suddenly I go, oh, am I unwittingly getting myself into an issue where I could be running afoul of some type of COPPA compliance thing, and
Yeah, that's always an issue if you use Google, as your analytics tool. But
that's the question. It's like I always know I'm not collecting anything. Me personally, am I collecting any sensitive data? No. Is the service I'm using doing that? Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only problem that I have with Flurry is that it's now owned by Yahoo. and Yahoo historically has a history of buying and shutting down.
Well, I was going to say, what's the shelf life now on Flurry?
So, yeah. Of course, they
all the time.
Of course, they did a developer conference in San Francisco at the beginning of this year, and they've just announced another one in New York.
Yeah, I got an email about that this week.
Yeah, so they're making a run for it to see what trying to make a go of it, I guess. So we'll see.
Aren't they trying to go all mobile? Isn't that their new shtick?
Yeah. Well, the new CEO over there, I'd say new, and she's been there for a while, but she's trying to emulate Google to some degree, right? I mean, mobile is hot, and that's where it's at, and they're trying to do the same thing. So.
Is FusePowered going to have any sort of analytics component to their plugin, or is it just serving up ads?
Or at least exposed, right? Exposed analytics.
Well, it's got analytics, but it's more about looking for users that paid for in-app purchases.
Yeah.
And serve them different kinds
Kevin,
of things.
you've already messed with it, right?
Yeah, I've got it set up, but I haven't gone that deep into it. I've played around with the rewarded videos, which are quite interesting.
Are you going to use it in your newest app?
Yeah, yeah.
What are you going to do? Like rewarded videos or just static videos, or what are you going to try to do?
I'm going to do both. So every 35, I think it is on now. When you die, 35 times.
Well, that's
in a row.
well, that won't take very long.
No. It will serve you a video on interstitial. But when you click on the skip level, you watch a rewarded video. So that's kind of neat, and I don't think a lot of people use it in that way.
Yeah. I think this goes back to what Eric was talking about earlier about rewarding people for their activities inside the app. Matt Hall and the whole Crossy Road thing, and then of course Eric was talking about rewarding people for the longer they play the game. The more involved they get, the more things begin to unlock for them.